Okay guys, here we go, question 5. So figure 1 shows a sketch of a curve with equation y equals fx, so just a nice general name. The curve crosses the y-axis at 0, 4 and 5, 0, so typical ones, just always crossing over here. Now the curve has a single turning point at 2, 7, which is over here, the highest point here, which is also the turning point. And now the line of equation y equals 1, i.e. the dotted line here, is known as the asymptote. And what asymptote means, for you guys who don't know, is when the curve itself will stretch on for infinity forever but never ever reach y equals 1. So the closest you'll get is probably y equals 1.00000, like infinite zero is 1. And even then, it will still never touch. So that's what it's for. Okay, so let's begin now. So A, state the coordinates of the turning point on the curve with equation y equals fx minus 2. Now what this means here is that firstly we're dealing with a curve called fx, and now we want to find fx minus 2, the turning point. All this tells us that for the x values here, if it's x minus 2, this means we need to add the x values by plus 2. That's all it is. When you're working with x coordinates, it's always reverse. Okay, so we look at x coordinates here. This is the turning point. It was originally 2, 7, so we add 2 to the x value, it becomes 4, 7, so it moves to the right by 2. So the coordinate here is 4, 7. B, state the solution of the equation of f 2x equals 0. Now notice how this was y equals fx. This means that the y, we're trying to find when the y coordinate is 0. So in other words, when it's on this line here, the x-axis, because y equals 0 means it hasn't literally jumped off the x-axis. So somewhere on this line. And 2x literally means, just like the previous one, is that you don't double the x coordinates, in this case you halve it. So all the x values are halved. So the only time that it hits the x-axis is 5, 0. So half of 5, 0 is 2.50. So that's our answer. So we want 2.50, or you can also write 5/2, both is fine. So that's easy. Now C, state the equation of the asymptote to the curve with the equation y equals f minus x. So in this case, all the x values are flipped, are negative, but you just flip the signs. So here previously we had 2, 7. This means that 2, 7 will appear now here as minus 2, 7. 5, 0 down here will appear on the left side as minus 5, 0. So let's put it around here somewhere. 0, 4 is the same because flipping 0 is still 0. So all that really happens is just a nice transformation. So it's going to be kind of hard to sketch, but well done. You literally have to just copy this diagram, sketch over here, and then this again will never touch the asymptote. So actually everything is the same. So in fact, you can see that the asymptote position doesn't change because the curve is identical. It just rotates, it just flipped against the y-axis. So we say that asymptote is still y equals 1. Easy stuff. Now, final question. So given that the line of equation y equals k, so y equals k could be something like, I don't know, y equals 2 or y equals 3. Just a constant. In other words, it's a straight line cutting the y-axis. A bit like the asymptote, which is y equals 1. Now, so given that the line of equation y equals k, where k is a constant, meets the curve y equals fx at only one point, so key point at only one point, so it crosses the curve at 1 point, so it can't be, for example, here, because it's 2 points, 2 points, so really it just means up here or below the asymptote. State the set of possible values for k. So I already written the answers, but what this really means, the only exact point would be when it hits at the tip at exactly 7, but that's again only exactly at 7, or when it hits below the asymptote, or at the asymptote and below. So when it hits at the asymptote and below, it's going to hit at y equals 1, or less than at 0, minus 1, and so on. So the only possible values is when it hits at 7 or below 1. So that's our answer. So it would be 7 or below and equal 1. And that's it. That's literally, what number is this? Question 5 done.